Hi everyone, my name is Colm Ritter. I'm a student of the EOP program and this is Humans on Homes. So this right here, this is part of a cavity tree that was cut down from the main thing many years ago. It's called a cavity tree because it has the big cavity like what you have in your tooth when you have to go visit the dentist. Cavities can be naturally forming or they can be made by what we call primary cavity users, such as the pileated woodpecker or the yellow-bellied sapsucker. This particular cavity was made by a pileated woodpecker. You can tell because it has the more oval shape instead of a little round shape that most woodpeckers make. Now, these cavities that are either naturally made or made by another animal like the woodpecker, they often get abandoned, and that's where the secondary cavity users come in. That is an animal such as the wood duck. The wood duck cannot make its own cavity because it doesn't have the same tools as the woodpecker. The woodpecker can hang on vertically to any tree trunk, but the wood duck has webbed feet, so it can't really do that. The woodpecker has a long, hard, sharp beak that can puncture through wood, while the wood duck has a smaller, curved beak, which is better for hunting its food. Now, we as humans, we typically don't like cavity trees because, well, they're dead or dying trees, and they're both a little ugly, and they are a bit of a falling hazard for falling on people's heads. So we cut them down. If we cut them down though, where's the wood duck gonna live? Well, that's what this is. This is a wood duck box. It's an artificial home for secondary cavity users such as the wood duck. It can be hung up on wetlands, on trees, or anywhere as long as it's at least 1 mile between the nearest wetland and the box, as long as the mother wood duck has a safe path to take her and her newborn ducklings. Now every year we have to clean out the wood duck boxes because just junk piles in there, animal droppings, stuff like that, and it gets unclean. So we have to open it like this and we can clean it out. And when we clean it out, we can also see what has been living inside there. If there are little feathers, like this cardinal feather or this blue jay feather, that means that a raptor, such as the American kestrel, has been living inside there and has eaten these kind of birds. If there are these little furry owl pellets that are full of bones, it means an owl's been living in there, and they had to cough these up because they just physically cannot digest fur and bone. There's a bunch of wood chips and these little papery or leathery thin eggshells that are flexible. That means the wood duck is nested in there. Now, when we look at the wood duck part, we can see what exactly has happened, if there's been a successful nest or if there's been bad nesting. If there are the little flexible eggshells, that means the baby ducklings successfully hatched and drained the calcium from the eggshell, so that's why it's flexible. If there are little broken hard eggshells, like kind of the ones you find at the grocery store, like these ones are very brittle and very hard, that means something got in there and attacked the nest and the baby ducklings and eggs were broken. If you find the intact eggs, then that means that something scared the mother duck away and they could not return to incubate the eggs, and they are now rotten and not living. If you find, unfortunately, the little bodies of some baby ducklings, that means there was a problem with the wood duck box. Because wood duck boxes have to have a few things. They have to be high up, on or near water. They have to be deep so that predators such as the raccoon cannot reach their little arms in there. And they also have to have these little grooves in the side here. That might be a better look. These grooves, you can either replace them with mesh or just have the grooves, and they act for the baby wood ducklings to use their little claws to help climb out and jump out onto the forest floor or the water. And without these, the baby ducklings cannot get out and they will unfortunately die. So this was Humans on Homes, and what you can do to help out the wood ducks and other secondary cavity users is to raise awareness and maybe build your own wood duck box and put it up somewhere close to a wetland so that they can live there.